Why do you lose yourself more and more the more you try to change them? Think about this. You meet someone. They have problems, wounds from their past. They barely have a life. And what do? I understand them. I can change them. I can heal them, you say. At first, this seems like a good thing. Empathy, understanding, support, love. These are beautiful things. But after a while, you realize something's going wrong. You're constantly giving but not getting anything in return. You're struggling, but they're not changing. You're burning yourself for them, but they're comfortable. This is the savior trap. In psychology, this is called savior complex, the need to feel valuable by saving others. But here's the truth. You're not a therapist. You should be a partner. And being a partner is very different from being a savior. Today, we're going to talk about the psychology of this trap, why it's so dangerous, and how to get out of this cycle. Because maybe you're in this trap right now, and you're not even aware of it. Oh, why do you do this? Why do you try to save someone? Because there's an emptiness inside you, a feeling of absence, and to fill this absence, you need others. Think about it. When you save someone, what do you feel? Valuable, important, needed. They can't do it without me. They need me. I'm important, you say. And this feeling feels good, because you can't create these feelings on your own. You don't know your own worth. That's why you try to feel valuable by saving someone. In psychology, this is called codependency. Your value becomes dependent on someone else needing you. But a dangerous cycle starts here, because what happens if that person heals? They won't need you anymore. And you'll feel worthless. That's why subconsciously you never want them to heal. Because if they heal, they might leave you. That's why you want to keep them sick. Of course, if you say this, you'll deny it. No, I want their well-being. You'll say. But look at your actions. Are you really allowing them to heal? Or are you keeping them in that role by constantly talking about their problems? And what's worse, you attract these types of people. Sick people find you. Why? Because your energy radiates this. The I'll save you energy. And they feel it too. They come to you because you're their safe zone. You don't judge them, you accept them. But actually, you're using them too, to feel your own value. Now let's talk about the imbalance in the relationship. The moment you enter the savior role, the relationship loses its equality. You're no longer two equal people. You're above, they're below. You're strong, they're weak. You're the healer, they're sick. And this dynamic destroys the foundation of a healthy relationship because you're constantly putting effort into healing. You're giving emotional support, giving time, giving energy. But what are you getting in return? Problems, complaints, drama. When they come to you, what do? They tell you their problems. They talk about their debts. They tell you how bad they feel. And you? You listen, you comfort, you offer solutions. But what about your problems, your bad days, the moments you need support? Usually ignored, because they're already busy with their own problems. There's no room for yours, and you accept this as normal. They need it more. I'm strong, I can handle it, you say. But here's the truth. You're human too. You get tired too. You need support too. But you can't say it, because you can't step out of the savior role. And what happens over time? You burn out. You empty inside. Everything you give doesn't come back. And one day you wake up, nothing's left of yourself, because you've dedicated yourself to that person. But what have they given you? Only their problems and the solutions in you. Now let's get to the main point. You're not a therapist, but when you enter the savior role, that's exactly what you do. You act like a therapist. You listen to their problems, analyze them, produce solutions. But what does a therapist do? They do their job and go home. They don't get emotionally attached. They maintain distance. They have professional boundaries. But you're emotionally all in. Their problems become your problems. Their pain becomes your pain. And this exhausts you, because you should be a partner, not a therapist. What does being a partner mean? Two equal people, supporting each other but not carrying each other. Not being a burden to each other but being there. But in the savior role, what happens? You're carrying them like a weight on your back, and they get used to it because you're always there, always producing solutions, always opening your arms, and they comfortably lean on you. But this isn't healthy because they're not growing. You're not letting them grow. On the contrary, you're keeping them small. The more you think they can't do it without me, you don't believe in them, you don't trust them, and they don't trust themselves either, because you're doing everything. They're just taking. The roles in the relationship get mixed up. You become partner, mother, father, and therapist all at once. But them, they're just like a child. And by the way, if you want more content like this, we're here every week with new videos. Don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, let's continue. And finally, you arrive here. Burnout. Months have passed, maybe years. You always gave, always tried, always supported. But did they change? No, they're still dealing with the same problems, still making the same complaints, still needing your support. And you? Now you're tired. So tired. Something broke inside you. Your hope ran out. That feeling of maybe this time they'll change doesn't exist anymore, because you realized they won't change. They don't want to change because they don't need to. You're already doing everything. And at this point, you're asking yourself, what have I done? Nothing's left of yourself. You abandoned your hobbies. You neglected your friends. You shaped your own life around them. And now what happened? You're exhausted. They're still the same. But worse, now you feel worthless. Because you put in all this effort, but there's no result. Maybe I'm not enough. Maybe I can't heal them, you think. But no, the problem isn't you. The problem is this dynamic, because you can't change them. No one can change anyone. People can only change themselves. And them. They don't want to change. No matter how hard you try, they won't change. Because they have no motivation to change. You're doing everything. They're just taking. And you lost yourself in this process. You lost your value. You lost your energy. So how do you get out of this trap? First step, realize you're in it. If you're watching this video, you've probably already taken this step. Now you know this isn't love. This is codependency. Second step, accept that you can't change them. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you give, they won't change unless they want to. And if they wanted to, they would have already. Third step, Set boundaries. Stop being available all the time. Stop solving their problems. Stop carrying their weight. Say no when necessary. This will be hard because you're used to being the savior. You're used to being needed, but you need to step back. Fourth step, focus on yourself. Reconnect with your hobbies. Spend time with your friends. Build your own life because you lost yourself. Now it's time to find yourself again. Fifth step, ask yourself this question. If they don't change, am I willing to stay in this relationship? If the answer is no, then you know what you need to do. Leave. Walk away. Because you can't save someone who doesn't want to be saved. And if the answer is yes, then accept them as they are. Stop trying to change them. Stop being their therapist. Be their partner. Or don't be anything at all. Today we talked about the savior trap. Why trying to heal someone devalues you. The psychology of this trap and how to get out of it. But remember this. You can't save anyone. You can only support them if they want to save themselves. And if they don't, that's not your responsibility. You're not a therapist. You're not a parent. You're a partner, and a partner doesn't carry. They walk side by side. I hope this video gave you something valuable. Share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever been in this trap? How did you get out? What topic should I cover in the next video? I'm curious about your ideas. See you in the next video. Take care of yourself.